morning, Ken. Thanks for joining us for the HFRX Performance Snapshot.
Morning. Thank you.
So, how did hedge funds perform in May?
May was a strong month for hedge fund performance. It was also a strong month for overall financial market performance, where we saw a strong recovery from some of the declines that we saw in April. We really extended the mid-month, the gains that we saw through the middle of May, we extended through the second 2 weeks with strong leadership from technology equities, and also interest rates fell, which also was a strong driver of hedge fund performance for the month of May.
Nice. So, what was the leading area of hedge fund performance in May?
Yeah, the leading area of performance was equity hedge, which there were strong gains in overall equity markets. To my earlier comment, obviously led by some of the AI and technology equities. You can see here the HFRX Equity Hedge Index gained 1.15. We still have one more day of performance, so these numbers could go up a little bit more as well. Fixed income based relative value was also strong, gaining about 0.2%. Overall, we saw the composite gain about 54 basis points, which is basically a reversal of what we saw in April. And that also marks the fourth gain in the last 5 months, the first 5 months of 2024. We also saw a gain of about 40 basis points in event-driven and macro CTA index, which has been the leading area of performance thus far for 2024, actually posted a narrow decline of about 0.5% for the month of May.
And what areas and sub strategies were leading for the month?
Yeah, in May, it was fundamental equities. You can see here the two leading areas. HFRX fundamental growth gained 1.36 and 115 in the HFRX fundamental value. Those are two of the largest sub-strategy areas of performance, and they're really hedge funds that are long and short, long biased, long and short, with fundamental as opposed to quantitative approaches, or as opposed to market neutral approaches to their investment strategies. So you can see here, those are the two leading area of performance. And with the gain in May, we got actually see fundamental equities second only to CTAs for the year-to-date performance. And we're going to talk about that in a second. The third leading area for the month to date was convertible arbitrage, which gained about 86 basis points. And then we also saw, sticking with fixed income strategies, we also saw the fixed income credit index gain about 0.75% for the month of May.
Okay, so year to date, which areas have led hedge fund strategy performance for 2024?
Yes, even with the narrow decline in the month of May, it really hasn't put a dent in the strong outperformance of macro strategies. Again, we've talked about this in previous videos. Macro is typically the lowest correlated strategy of the hedge fund strategies to equity markets, which is interesting that actually, and we talked about this previously, was very positively correlated when equities gained throughout the first quarter. And then it had a very strong negative correlation in the month of April when equities fell. And then, so we've seen that with that strong gain, even with a narrow decline in May, you're still up nearly 5.5%, 5.4% in the HFRX macro CTA. That includes both fundamental discretionary macro managers, as well as trend following quantitative CTA managers as well. That's the leading area of performance in the first 5 months, but followed closely by equity hedge, which was the leading area in the month of May. When I look at the year to date, that actually brings that to 3.75%. Overall composite up a little better than 2.5%, which is slightly ahead of where U.S. equities are thus far for the year. And then all positive performance from the M&A sensitive HFRX event driven, 1.1% there, and 0.75% gain for fixed income based relative value strategies.
So finally, drilling down, which sub-strategies are leading the performance for the year so far?
Yeah, it's really the tailwind of very strong performance from the quantitative trend following CTA strategies. These have gained almost 9%. You see here 8.9% in the first 5 months. And that was even with this little pullback in the month of May. So that's really been the leading areas. And when the CTA strategies are posting those types of gains, it's really across all asset classes. It can be across equities, fixed income, currencies, and commodities. In different months, different parts of the portfolio can be contributing to those gains. And so it's been a strong. They're typically very diversified funds which are forecasting trends across hundreds of different liquid futures contracts and instruments. And you can see that's been the strong area. Again, the gain of 8.9% is actually with a slight pullback for the month of May. 5.9% for fundamental growth. We talked a little bit about how that's really come on strong, not only in the first quarter, but also in the month of May as well. And then you see other sub strategies with strong performance. Market neutral, again, which is interesting, that's categorically a really low volatility area of the hedge fund industry. 286 is the gain for the HFRX equity market neutral. And then finally, fundamental value. We've talked about how the fundamental strategies led in May, and they were very strong through the first quarter. You can see that has gained 2.7%, really all four of those ahead of the gain for U.S. equities thus far in the first 5 months of the year.
Fabulous. Well, thank you for sharing your expertise. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, I just wanted to comment. We have a great new website up. There's a lot of great information on the HFRX and all of our investable families of indices. So please go to the website www.hfr.com. When you get there, please click on the investor guidebook. It's a fantastic resource for investors that talks a lot about the use case for all of our investable indices and how institutions are increasingly adopting and using these indices. If you're watching this video, you know that we do regular performance updates on YouTube. So please continue to look for these. And also, please, if you subscribe to the channel, feel free to forward us any questions that you have of areas that you'd like us to discuss in greater detail on any of these calls. We're happy to do that. And then finally, if you have questions about anything I talked about here, performance or HFRX or other investable index families, feel free to reach out to me directly, Ken Hines. You can set up a call with me, or if you want to email or you can contact whoever you work with at HFR. They can help you put you in touch with me, or you can just send an email to indices@hfr.com, and I'd be happy to set up a call and answer any questions that you have. Thanks, and look forward to speaking with you next month.